right, here we go. Back in or at the show. I am one of the hosts. I am Angel Lorenzana, and I got my co-host Rafa. And then today we have our guest. He is a comedian, and he's also a good friend of ours, Tanner Nelson.
Hey.
All right, so yeah, man, what's going on with you, buddy? How you doing?
I'm doing fantastic. I don't know when this is coming out, but I'm just Thanksgiving tomorrow.
Nice.
Thankful. To live in Lubbock, one might say. I wouldn't.
You wouldn't be thankful? Is that what?
Not to live in Lubbock.
Maybe I
was trying to riff there.
How do you start comedy?
How did you start comedy?
How do you start? How do you get started?
I've always been into writing jokes, just because I've always loved comedy. I've been listening to comedy since I was 7 years old.
And how did you get into the scene here in Lubbock?
Honestly, just Googled, trying to find it. I Googled, looked up like Lubbock open mic comedy.
That's what I did too.
Found the Instagram page for Laugh Hub City, DM Selena, and got into it. I just had jokes that I'd written, and I was like, I'm never gonna tell these.
How long ago was that?
March 14th, 2023.
You even know the date? Oh my God, that's
because it was my grandma's birthday.
Okay.
Yeah, March 13th or 14th, one of those.
Okay.
I think 14th. Yeah.
Well, I'll say this, man. You're pretty good, dude. Like I think you're probably one of the funniest comedians, like in the city.
Can't say that when Rafa's sitting right next to me.
Come on, take it easy. No, but you definitely are the up and coming comedian. What the people used to call it, up and coming comedian. You took off at one point, and it was just like you were in every single show, pretty much. You know,
Yeah, I had a
at
good
least locally, and also you've been traveling now. You did
Yeah.
Dallas. What other comedy clubs have you?
just did Hyenas in Fort Worth. That was my first like big comedy club.
Tell me about the experience.
Fucking
Terrifying.
no.
No.
It's not terrifying to do comedy in front of 3 people.
Wait a second.
Where was this at?
That was a comedy club.
Hyenas in the Red Room. 3 people, and they were buddies of Sergio. So it was like they came specifically for Sergio because they were friends to like surprise him. So I mean, they were a great crowd. The 3 people, they loved it.
Okay,
that was it.
Nice. Okay.
The owner of the club or the manager, whatever, he asked us if we even still wanted to do the show because only 3 people showed up, and we're like, I mean, yeah, they're here. Like I just drove all the way from Lubbock. Like fuck yeah, we're still doing it.
Yeah,
that's how it is. That's the game. I mean, so I've heard.
How would you never guess that in a comedy club they only have 3 people? I thought at least 10 to 20.
I thought we would have had at least a few tables.
Tuesday or Wednesday? What kind of day of the week was it?
Friday, Saturday.
Are you serious?
I think it was a Saturday. Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
Yep.
Was it in like a small room, or was it? Do they have like a small room and a big room, or is it?
I mean, they have like their. Yeah, it was like we were in their smaller room. It was still a good sized room, probably like. Shit, I don't know. Hard to picture, like 100, 150 max, maybe. I could be way fucking off, but that's what I would guess. So, but with 3 people.
So, I have a question. So you said when you first started, you said you written down jokes, and you told yourself you're like, I'm never gonna tell anybody these or something like that.
Yeah,
that's what you said earlier, right? Do you still those? How much was that? How much like material did you say you had before you like just? When it was just like you were just writing it for fun, was it just for fun, or?
I mean, I probably had my first like solid 10-15 minutes written out before I even got on stage.
Nice.
And then one day
did that work out as like good as you thought it would go?
No, I mean, I don't think I've told a single one of those jokes since.
That's kind of what I was getting to. That was like what I was wondering, because I know a lot of people will start off with something that they think it's like is good, and they end up going up there and they're like they just fall straight on their face about it. But because that happened to me, but that's just like, again, that's just the game. That's the way it is. So, yeah. But,
yeah, they're not all.
Do you remember anything that is just was like really like you're like, what do you remember something that you did, and after you did it you told yourself like, I'm never doing that again? Do you remember any of that,
like with comedy? Or I wouldn't say I could think of any joke in particular. I would say like I tried to do a style of comedy where I was just like more kind of moving around,
Yeah.
talking fast, and it just didn't work with me, like my style.
Dane Cook stuff.
No, I was almost kind of going, yeah, I guess kind of like Dane Cook.
Casey Rocket.
Yeah, I was going somewhere in between Dane Cook, Casey Rocket style, and it just wasn't how I do comedy. I don't think that fast.
Yeah, it took you a while to find your own voice and your own style.
I'm figuring it out now.
Then once you figure out it, you took off. Bro.
Yeah,
You
the
did
last
pretty good.
month or two, I've stopped using my notes entirely, and I just go up there and talk, and that's helping me a lot.
No, you feel more
That's cool.
comfortable.
Yeah.
Nice.
More confident.
I remember when like the person that got me into comedy, he like laid down some ground rules for me, like, but I actually respect it.
Who got you into comedy?
What?
Who got you into
Who
comedy?
got me into comedy?
Yeah.
My friend Cliff, that back in California.
Oh,
Like,
okay, come back up for it.
He's the first comedian that I've ever met, like in a sense where like I met him and he was just telling me like, oh yeah, I do stand-up comedy, like I go to open mics and do shows and stuff like that. And I was like I thought that was really cool, and then I didn't even try it. Like he didn't like tell me, oh, you should do it. It wasn't the situation where he was like, oh man, you're funny, you should do it. He just like, that's just who he was. And then I thought that was pretty cool, and then I started, he like recommended me. Well, pretty much this is what happened. There's a show on Netflix called Midnight Gospel. You know what that is? It's an animated show. It's really trippy and it's really cool. It's called Midnight Gospel.
Okay.
I told my friend about that show. I told him this is a really good show, and he said, oh, Duncan Trussell is actually the creator of that show, and Duncan Trussell is a comedian. And I was like, okay, that's pretty cool. I want to find out who Duncan Trussell is now, because the show is wild and trippy. And so I looked up Duncan Trussell. I tried to find a podcast of him, and he was on Kill Tony. So then I went down the freaking Kill Tony rabbit hole and just binge watched all the early episodes in LA. And then eventually I started going out to open mics just to check it out. No, that's a lie. I didn't go to open mics. Just the first open mic I went to, I actually went up. And yeah, that's kind of how it started. But the reason why I kind of wanted to do it, because I seen people go up there and do really, really bad. Right. And I'll tell them, and like, or sometimes it's like kind of good and they get people like receive it like kind of well, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But that was just like my take on it. I'm thinking, man, if these guys go up there and they suck pretty bad, maybe I could go up there and not suck as much. You know what I mean? So
That's how I was. I kind of went down the same like Kill Tony rabbit hole.
yeah.
And then that's kind of what got me into being like, well, some of these fucking dickheads do it.
You see, I went the opposite way. I was trying not to watch any comedy. Once I started, I didn't want to get.
Once I started, I haven't
by
really.
anybody or somehow subconscious, copying something that I heard somewhere. So I completely stopped watching everything.
Yeah. Since I started, I haven't watched a whole lot. Like if someone I really like has
For
a
the same
special
reason?
coming out, yeah, for the same reason.
Okay.
Because when I started, I already saw some influence of different comedians.
Mm-hmm.
In how I write jokes and how I deliver. Like one of the first comedians I ever listened to was Daniel Tosh. I was like 8 years old.
He's good, man.
Yeah, I was like 8 years old listening to Daniel Tosh's specials and watching Tosh.0. And I saw a lot of, obviously not like, skill, whatever, but like the way I want to deliver jokes. I felt
That was
being
closer
heavily
to your
influenced
style.
to Tosh's style, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, more like an Andy Kaufman, Richard Pryor type of era. Those were my influences.
Yeah.
Those comedians back in the days.
Right.
And also from later on, it was Joey Coco Diaz, because the way he tells his stories and all that stuff. Those are my influence when it comes to famous comedians.
Right.
Nice.
What about you?
So when I was a kid, my mom used to watch a lot of like Adam Sandler movies and like Jim Carrey stuff and stuff like that. So like, and I don't want to try to say like those are like my influencers, because I'm not like a working comedian, or like I just title myself as an open micer, and I don't want to sound like I'm like anything. But anyways, like I loved fucking like Jim Carrey stuff. who's the? I can't believe I'm forgetting his name right now. Like, so there's Adam Sandler, Jim Carrey, like all those, those guys like that were like big in the '90s.
In that era.
Yeah, and like I even just as a kid, I picked up that like that goofiness, that wildness, that fucking like.
It's the stuff that you grew up with.
Yeah.
That you listen at one point or another one. It doesn't mean that you're copying their styles or anything like that. It's just the influence you one way or the other. But that's who you grow up listening to. So somehow you like their comedy. Therefore, you also like kind of comedy from that point.
But I don't think I have like I don't think I have an influence from an actual comedian that made me want to do it. I don't know. What made me
I think you mentioned so to use your style is. There's no way I can think of a comedian that you're similar to his style or anything. I just don't know. Right?
Yeah, I don't even really think about it when it comes to other people who I think they sound like.
Yeah,
like it never really dawns on me who
they do have a similarity with some.
Yeah, for sure.
But in our group, I believe we kind of have our own little style.
Yeah, everyone in our group has their own sort of style, I think.
Yep, you're right, man.
Like we don't have two Dereks.
You know who's wild?
No.
No.
you know who I want to have as two guests on here at the same time would be pretty wild. Derek and Chris Heist.
I knew it.
That would be. I'm gonna try to do it.
He wants to have chaos in there.
I don't know if I've ever seen them say like 3 words to each other.
I think they are. I did see them talking one day, and I was like, okay, these guys probably.
No, they're friendly to each other.
No, I didn't think that they had any beef or anything.
Type of animals, so that it makes more.
No, I didn't think they had any beef or anything. I just have never really like notably seen them interact.
Yeah.
But yeah, man. So, how like you've been? How many around ballpark? How many shows do you think you've gotten since you started? Showcase, yeah.
20.
Nice.
20 maybe in almost 2 years.
Hell yeah. Nice.
That's awesome. That's a good record.
Feels all right. I mean, a lot of them. I had a good stretch during the summer where I did like 2 shows every weekend for a month or so.
Okay.
For like 3 months, I had a show every week, and then for a month, I had 2 shows a week at one point. It was fun.
Where was the show that we did? Where was it? One of those dispensaries. It was in New Mexico.
I did 2 dispensary shows in New Mexico. Did we do the one that was outside together?
Yeah, we did outside,
Okay, yeah.
yes.
That was the first one.
Where was
And
it?
then-
Was that?
I can never remember.
Was it Hobbs?
Rafa. I have a friend, similar name. I don't know if you
That's
remember.
how high you were. You kept remembering.
Dude, that's how high I was.
But I remember you were high that night.
I could not remember
Wow.
what city we were in.
Because I remember that. And then we went
But
to
weed was legal there? Was
Yeah, it was in New Mexico.
Awesome
okay.
because
Yeah, that
everybody's
weekend I
high
did-
as fuck.
that
So they're
weekend-
ready to laugh at anything, bro. They're the coolest audience ever.
I think it was.
Alex, I had one of the best shows in my life.
Really?
It was amazing.
Okay.
I think that weekend, the one I did with you was either a Friday or a Saturday. I think it was a Friday.
It was, yeah.
And then that night, Show Enough asked me to do the show the next day, like 2 hours away, I think.
Yeah. It was the Portales one.
Yeah.
You didn't make it.
No, I was on that one. I had to
Yeah, but
drive
you didn't make
back
it.
to.
You didn't go to it.
Yeah, I did.
Oh, you see? Okay.
I had to drive all the way back to Lubbock and then go there.
Oh my God. Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, I was on it.
So where
It was
you
a
from?
fun weekend. Central Coast of California.
Central Coast of California.
Yeah.
What city?
Paso Robles.
Los Robles? Is that what you
Paso
said?
Robles?
Pass Robos.
El Paso de Robles.
Paso de Robles? Is that what you said? Okay.
Oh, okay.
That's a crazy name.
Now I
What does that mean?
The Pass of the Oaks.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. You got
Okay,
it right.
okay.
Oh my
Yeah.
God.
So is that
Or big winery. Big winery area.
okay? Nice. So that's
The 3 of us, we live in California because I live in LA for, I don't know, like 12 years, somewhere around there.
Yeah, I'm like
You live how many
3
years you
hours.
live in LA?
I lived there I lived in California my whole life up
Your
until
whole life?
a year ago.
How many years you did?
18 years.
Okay,
Until I
there you
came
go.
to school in Lubbock.
Wow.
Yeah.
Nice. So this is a heavy California episode.
California.
Yeah.
What side?
I was saying Kendrick Lamar dropped into Kendrick Lamar dropped a album recently. My bad. Somebody he was talking to me. but it's a very heavy like very California vibe to it too. It's pretty cool. I like it. It's pretty cool. And I'm not usually one to like jump on when artists release like an album right away. I feel like I kind of like I don't really jump on it like the hype train right away. But I was like, you know what, I'm gonna check it out, and I was like, oh shit, this is really good. It's pretty good.
The only one I've really jumped on recently, and it's just because my girlfriend, Tyler the Creator's new album.
Okay.
Tyler the Creator's new album.
Oh, he just released one too.
Yeah.
Right? Okay.
Yeah, it's
okay.
pretty good.
Nice.
I like it.
Nice. Okay. So and you said how long did you live in California again?
Until I was 18.
You're
Yeah.
18. Okay.
Yeah.
Nice. What do you think? Who you got, In-N-Out or Whataburger?
In-N-Out.
All day, right?
100%.
Again, if you live in California, it sounds the same way. If you live in California,
But I would be honest, if Whataburger was better, if I personally thought Whataburger was better, I would just say it. You know what I mean? But I'm gonna be straight up. Yeah,
I don't have again, I'm not really from. I was not born in California. You were.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But
yeah.
But if definitely, to me, In-N-Out.
I got beef with the one on 50th, but because
Like, I'll gladly say Texas has better barbecue.
oh yeah, dude.
Texas doesn't have tri-tip, which I hate.
No, one thing I can tell you when it comes to food,
Texas, I think-
New York,
Oh,
one of the
yeah.
best food.
Okay.
and it's everywhere.
Dude,
Every
Chicago
corner,
has great fucking food.
They're very well
my
known.
God.
But the worst part is that once you try that, nothing else tastes good at all. Everything tastes like tastes almost like, but it's not the same thing. Yeah, that's the only bad thing about it. Trying the best stuff in the world. Yeah.
Yeah, have you tried Evie Mays? I think that's probably the best.
Yeah, Evie Mays is really good.
Yeah,
I've only been once, but it's too expensive for me, so I wait for my parents to invite me.
Nice. When my family came out from California to visit us, that's one of the places we took them, and like I was like, and that was my first time trying it. But I was telling myself, I was like, well, my family's coming from California, I might as well like take them to try some like Texas barbecue, and that was all of our first time trying
I will
it.
say the thing that really makes it worth it too is the free beer.
They have free beer there.
Evie Mays is the one
didn't
I'm
know
thinking of, right? They have like the buckets of beer.
I think you're supposed to.
No, it's free.
Okay, all right.
It's free because they don't have their liquor license.
Oh,
So they don't sell it; they give it out.
Really?
Yeah, they just have like big the metal water troughs.
No, and I believe it, and that's cool. There was one theme park in Orlando called Busch Gardens, and they were giving beer for free, and I couldn't believe it. In a theme park full of kids.
That's sick.
It was amazing, bro.
What country was this? Well, I said, what country was this?
Florida. Orlando, Florida.
What country? Florida.
you said it was. You said it was a.
It's a different country. You know
said-
that?
You said it was a water park. What was it?
No, it's a theme park.
Oh, a theme park.
Kind of
Okay.
like Disney or Universal.
Oh yeah, going to
now
theme park, free
it's
beer.
Busch Gardens, yes.
Shit, that's cool.
Now they changed the name.
That's
I believe
peak.
now this Legoland. Now they don't have that stuff anymore. But back in the days when I was there, they had when I couldn't believe it, and I asked like free, but it said free. Really? And I just couldn't get the count. I went there and it was free.
Don't question it.
And I'm getting my beer and I'm like, I feel like I'm stealing something, bro. It was a funny feeling ever. And then give me another one. He gave me another one. You know, it was amazing.
Do you? My bad, Rafa.
Go
So
for
do you still have people back in California, like family, friends?
Yeah, I got friends back there. I got, extended family back there. I have a brother there. But my parents, my little sister, they're here.
How many brothers and sisters you got in total?
I have 2 older brothers and a little sister, and then a kind of a little brother, kind of.
Okay.
Yeah. So my 2 older brothers, we had the same dad, different mom.
Okay.
Their mom remarried and had a son, and we
Got it.
just grew up super close. Family
Nothing wrong with
was super
that.
tight, no problems.
That's the way it should
Nice.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
So
like
he's my little brother for all intents and purposes.
be. Very good. Very good.
Yeah.
Do you have any projects that are like other than comedy? Is there anything else you do?
Off and on, I've tried to get into doing like YouTube and Twitch. Like that was the main thing I wanted to do was gaming content.
Okay.
Like I always just wanted to be a gaming YouTuber.
Nice.
I like
What
video
kind of
editing,
you're into? Driving, shooting,
just whatever.
fantasy? What?
Yeah, fantasy games.
Playing anything right now?
I've been on a big Baldur's Gate kick.
What is that? What is
It's
Baldur's?
the Dungeons and Dragons video
Okay.
game. Yeah.
Okay.
Some D.
Yeah, yep. Love D&D.
Okay. Nice. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. You fuck with Pokemon, don't you? Huh? I remember.
Fuck with Pokemon heavy.
Right. I remember. at one of the shows, you were talking to me and Josh, and we were all stoned. And you're like, yeah, man, we should all hang out and play Pokemon together. And I was like, hell yeah, let's do that. And we still
Yeah,
should,
dude.
man.
Because we were all stoned saying we were gonna hang out and smoke, and I was like, dude, I just started playing Pokemon. Shit's gas. It's so fun.
Yeah,
It came out, what was it, 2020 something?
What?
Pokemon.
Pokemon came out in like 1996.
No, I'm talking about the video game, the one you're playing yourself and then you're driving around.
Oh, Pokemon
That
Go.
was 2016.
2016.
Pokemon Go. Yeah.
Oh wow. Okay, it's been longer.
That was 2016. I was in high school. I was a junior.
Okay.
Or I was a sophomore. I was a sophomore in high school.
People were going. People that game was like hyped
Yeah,
up.
people were going.
Everybody was playing that game. Wasn't there like some people? Didn't some accidents happen? Like people.
Yeah, there were
like, some people died?
accidents. People getting hit by cars.
Yeah, because they were like looking on the phone,
Crazy
trying to
shit.
catch
Yeah.
Pokemon and stuff.
Or driving as they're trying to play with it too. Yeah, yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Crazy shit.
But I remember when I was a kid, I don't remember, and if I actually learned how to play Pokemon. I remember having cards and stuff,
Yeah.
and watching people play. But I think at my age, like I was just too immature to like care that much.
Dude, I've had Pokemon cards since I was 3 years old, and I like I would still, even growing up, just I'm at Walmart. Here's a pack of cards. Grab it. Whatever. It's $5.
More for collecting more than to
Yeah,
play
I
with
just
them,
collecting.
those games.
But
yes,
yeah,
good
and
together,
I just recently, in the last few months, started playing the game. I played in my first tournament and did all right. It was fun.
because then again, some of them are very collectible.
Yep.
So that you don't want
Some of
to
them
use
are
them
worth a
and
lot of
touch
money.
them all the time as you play with them. You know. What I mean?
Yeah, I have some
wanna keep
cards that I
those.
don't touch and don't play with.
That's exactly what.
Like I just sent a card to be like checked to see how valuable it is, and it's one of those cards that could be like $4,000.
Wow.
Yeah.
Do you remember when I think it was McDonald's when they had like the plastic Pokeball and you open it and there was like a gold
I remember that,
was
yeah.
that was really cool. That was
That was fire.
Yeah. That was
Those were cool.
yeah. Yeah, Pokemon. Hell yeah. We've just been freestyling the show these episodes. I'm trying to build up some kind of format or segments and stuff. But yeah, man. What do you got going on in life right now, man? How's everything?
Nah, dude,
how-
nothing at all. Just
Nothing?
work.
Just working.
Just working.
Nice.
Just working. I got this whole week off for Thanksgiving, which is fantastic. I've been doing nothing but playing video games,
Nice.
just hanging out at home.
Okay. Me and Morgan are still gonna go try to do Kill Tony for New Year's.
Nice.
Yep. So
Nice.
yeah. Have I talked to you about that? Okay.
Yeah, you guys. Both,
Okay.
talk. It depends again how broke I am when I
Yeah.
come back from Mexico. That's
Well,
the only thing.
Yeah. Well, we booked our
I would love to go.
Yeah, we booked our room already, and I don't see why not. I'm pretty sure Morgan would be cool because we booked the Airbnb, so it's like a house, but there's 2 bedrooms, but you crash,
Crash in the sofa.
like,
or whatever.
whatever. Yeah, it's a freaking house.
I would have liked to go, but Taylor can't get work off
The time off.
for that. And with it being our first New Year's, I'm like, well,
Really? This is
Yeah.
my first one.
We should.
yeah.
We
So
should
I was like, I kind of feel like I'd be a dick if I left.
Yeah, no, yeah.
we should try to next year. We should try
I
to
would say I could, obviously, but
Yeah, but you know you're hurting.
Oh, yeah,
You
yeah.
don't want to do
I know she means no.
next year. We should try
smarter
to.
than that.
We should try to plan some trips out there to Austin.
Yeah.
It's on Mondays, right? That they film it.
Yeah. I'm staying in Lubbock for at least another year. Taylor and I are looking at places
Where you
together.
Were you aiming for?
What do you mean?
Like, were you trying to
Like where in town?
moving? You're
Like-
trying to move out of
You said you're
Lubbock?
going to be here for
Yeah,
one
we're gonna
year
stay here
after
for
that
at least
1
another year.
Okay.
So
Where you think you're going after the 1 year?
You don't have to.
we've been thinking maybe Dallas. We really like Dallas. I really like Fort Worth a lot. I even thought somewhere like Denver would be cool.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay. Nice.
I think that
I even thought Chicago would be fun.
Ooh, no, it's too cold, bro. Too cold.
Really
Even in
fucking
the
cold,
winter, forget about it. I think Denver, you have a more fun. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Denver would be great too because I could maybe actually use my degree, but maybe not after a background check.
You degree? What degree?
The wildlife degree,
Wildlife degree.
Okay.
wildlife biology.
Okay.
Wildlife biology.
Yep.
Nice.
I'm a
Where'd you get that?
biologist.
Where'd you get that thing from?
Tech.
Tech.
So it's worth toilet paper.
Nice. Texas Tech.
Sorry to hear that.
I learned how to count deer. That's what that degree is basically.
Dear God.
I learned how to count deer.
No,
By
that's,
the antler, or what's the formula?
Give him a little
Droppings.
undercarriage check.
How many pounds of droppings per square meter? How do you do that?
Yeah, that is actually a way of checking.
I was just
Yeah, no,
fucking with you.
you can take like
I'm a genius. Sometimes.
yeah, that's one of the least reliable ways, but there's at least one deer here.
Okay. In a way, it makes sense.
Yeah.
Like I said, but
Yeah, no, you can sample a bunch of different
because
stuff.
it's not, you're not able to see all of them. This is not freaking way because they hide.
Yeah.
So it's not like if you go into a corral, you say 1, 2, 3. You can't do that shit.
No, there's
So it's gotta be
sometimes
some
it
sort of-
is as simple as
I mean,
that.
you
Just
have a
sitting and
helicopter,
watching.
one of those drones that you can. Okay, there's 5 over here, 10
Yeah.
over there, whatever.
or game cams.
Okay.
Game cams,
What
a lot of
made
stuff
you-
too. They'll tag them.
how'd you get into
It is
how'd you get into what is it called?
wildlife
Wildlife
biology.
Yeah.
I just grew up like a real outdoorsy kid. I grew up raising livestock.
Nice. Oh yeah, I didn't know that.
Growing up on property, hunting, fishing. I started at college as a environmental engineering because I loved in high school. I loved engineering. I did robotics. I made bomb retrieval robots in high school.
Shit.
Bomb retrieval robot.
Very interesting.
Yeah, so like that's like what the concept was. It was a competition we did for this like technical skills competition. I don't know, and I've heard some people in Texas say they've heard of it. Skills USA.
Okay.
Well, I guess you went to school in California, huh? Did you know Skills USA?
No, what is that?
It's like they have competitions for electrical work, sewing, computer work, plumbing, woodworking, welding.
And they hold competitions just for all that. That's pretty cool.
And I did robotics. I went to state my senior year.
That's been very interesting for the kids.
Yeah, and then I got into a bunch of schools back on the West Coast for engineering. Bunch of like technical schools.
Yeah, let me ask you something. How much are those the robot that looks for the mines and stuff like that? How much is one of those things
I have no idea.
around? 'Cause
I have
you
no
got
clue.
idea.
No
I
idea.
was just thinking at one point or another one, either the guy who's trying to drive that robot or whatever,
Yeah.
or the robot is going to make a mistake, and
Good,
then
yeah.
that thing is going to go kaboom, and then how much money
Yeah.
you just lost. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's got to be some sort of ratio.
Gotta
of,
be high.
How many robots?
Sure,
you
it's
lose,
expensive as shit.
How many mines you find?
Yeah.
Because there's all kinds of mines, and they all have different sensitivity, I guess.
Yeah. The little robots I made, like, the concept of them was like, you put a camera on them and you can't watch the robot while you drive. You have to watch it through a camera. And it's like when the police go in to grab a bomb, then dispose of it type of thing. But we were going and looking for little blocks, and we were using robot kits you could buy at Walmart or Best Buy. Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
And then, I went to Tech for environmental engineering, did a year and a half, 3 semesters of it. Didn't think it was for me, so I switched out to wildlife.
Okay.
So I stuck with the kind of hippie,
Nice.
environmental stuff.
Yeah, but at the same time, you like hunting.
Yeah, because there's like a genuine like conservation benefit to hunting.
It's part of it.
Yeah, it's all part of it.
Get it or
I was just helping
understand
my girlfriend's dad chop up a deer today.
it. Today.
Yeah.
Okay.
Did you count it before you? I'm just kidding.
Did I count it?
I don't know. That was a stupid callback to you counting deer earlier.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was like, what do you mean count it?
No, that was retarded. Sorry.
No, I like it. I like it.
No, I
So
don't.
besides deer, what else have you hunted?
I mean, boar really main thing.
That's cool.
Wild boar back home, big issue.
Well,
And it's fun, too.
This also was a big
Yeah,
issue.
in Texas too. But back home, it was fun to shoot them too because hill country. So we would just be sitting on hills, getting them in the valleys.
Now let me ask you something. When you shoot him, you gotta go through the whole thing, skin him, get the meat, separate everything, or
You don't have to.
you don't. That's what I heard. That you just shoot him, let him die, and just let it be.
I don't know about Texas. I should say I
You
don't
just like
know.
to get
I don't
rid of
know
them.
what the law was. To be fair, wildlife law wasn't something I was really like. I didn't really pay too much attention to because I was like, I'm not going to be a game warden. So I'll be honest, I don't know exactly. I'm not as into hunting myself, so I don't know. Like I've gotten a weird thing about guns personally. Like I'm still like, have them, whatever. But like me personally, I'm just like, not for me. So I've been out of hunting for a while.
To me, the hunting thing is like, if the animal has a chance or a shot at hurting you, that to me is hunting. To me, part of hunting is also be afraid of the animal that you're hunting.
So
You wanna
defending
go with
yourself,
just a knife.
and you're also
Let me put an example.
sorry. Yeah.
knife in your underwear.
If you're hunting for turkey, you're in a pedestal in a tree, all camouflage with a spray, with it smells like whatever else, but the human, you covered from head to toe in camouflage with a big freaking.
You think when it takes the
shotgun.
challenge out of it?
Exactly. And then you put some food in there for the freaking turkey to show up and pick it.
Yeah.
And then you go, bam! Where was the hunting part?
Yeah.
You sitting there like an idiot for hours and hours until one of those things shows
Yeah.
up and then you blast the fuck out of it.
If you're one of those
You see what I'm
people-
saying?
yeah.
That's not a challenge. Now, boars, those suckers will fucking kill
Those
you.
will fuck you up, dude.
If
I
you
just
don't- you
watched.
don't take a-
I started watching Game of Thrones, dude. King
So
Robert.
that's what I'm saying. That to me is hunting.
Yeah, no, I get that. Like, I mean, if you're one of those people, like, because there are people that just live solely off hunting, by their own choice or that's their lifestyle.
Kind of like the last.
I think if you,
It has
I
some
think
value
if
to it.
that's
I get
how
it.
you have to survive, take the easy way. I don't give a fuck, But if you're a dude like, hey, I'm just out here for the weekend, and you're where do you get the fun out of that?
I get what you're saying.
I guess so.
Like if it's not necessary, why do you have to make it eat? Like if hunting isn't necessary for you, why aren't you doing everything you can to make it fun? Why are you taking the whole point of it out?
It's kind of
I'm not saying you shouldn't be allowed to do it, but like why?
To me, it should be like an adventure.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's just.
I'm not saying you shouldn't be allowed to do it that way, but like why would you? Like make it fun for yourself.
I get what you're saying, like completely. You're like saying like people do this because that's kind of like their people will hunt and because that's like their like legit lifestyle, even though they do have other options.
Yeah.
But like just to see a couple people come in, like just because they're gonna do it for fun, you know what I mean? It is kind of like what the fuck, but it's still a thing. I don't know if I would. I mean, I've never really done it, but I get what you're saying. Yeah.
Gator hunting is a lot of fun. It's at night.
Gator?
Yeah, gator hunting in Florida, bro.
That'd be fun. That'd be
recommend that.
terrifying.
No, again, that to me, that's the fun.
Oh yeah, for sure.
You see that
For sure.
adrenaline going on you. You're like,
That'd be crazy.
Your ass. The same thing with like deep sea fishing. Instead of going on a lake and just wait for hours and keep on reeling.
That's why I kind of
You go deep sea fishing. It's a huge fish, and you get sharks, and it's a whole thing when you catch one of those suckers.
Yeah.
Forget about it.
That's why I got
It's real
into
fishing.
That's why I got into scuba diving, just because like the whole like being deep.
Okay.
Oh, it's so fun. I haven't done it a whole lot. I've only actually gone out.
You got
to,
your
like,
license, I assume.
Yeah, I have my license. I did the test for it, and that's about all I've done. But it's expensive to go and do. But it's fun. It's terrifying, but it's fun.
I don't think I would do it. I'm scared. Like
You have to do a whole test where like you go 20 feet down, take your mask off underwater,
Yeah.
put it back on, and then you have to clear the water out of it.
And through your nose and stuff.
Yeah, it's terrifying because you just instantly get water up your nose, and if you if you're like in the pool and you breathe up some water, you stand up, you cough it out. Dude, when you're 20 feet down, you can't go straight up because otherwise you're gonna fuck up your oxygen.
You're not gonna make it up anyway. You don't have that much stuff. You don't have that much air inside of you. That's how deep you are.
that's wild.
Honestly, I'm
how deep have
probably
you-
drumming it up is a lot more, but I think like 20 feet, not a lot, but
Where'd you go scuba diving at?
shit, what's it called? I think it's called like Blue Hole or something. Maybe?
Where?
I don't know. No, not Blue Hole. No, I didn't go to Blue Hole. Balmorhea.
that?
It's down south towards it's like a little east of El Paso.
Oh, okay. I'm not familiar.
I almost want to say it's like 5 hours directly south from Lubbock.
And one of the things that you don't understand, people don't get also is like when you're in the water, you don't hear. So when you take one of your senses out, you feel more vulnerable, and also your vision is just it minimizes basically what you see through the thing. So you feel that, and that gives you more adrenaline.
Where I was diving, the vision was a little bit better because it was like a spring coming from a mountain, and the spring came up, and they built like kind of like a preservation around it, kind of.
Okay.
Where the spring comes up, but then they made like a concreted area and like kind of a pool out of it almost. So people can go and swim, but you dive down. They have scuba divers go in there a lot. And I saw catfish fighting, dudes grabbing little prawns.
I went down a YouTube rabbit hole recently of scuba divers, like people exploring like the ocean for like just to find like, you know, stuff that's like been sunk. But I think that's a real interesting topic, is finding like people who go and exploring like the ocean.
The ocean's so sick.
I think that's really cool. But yeah, I forgot exactly what videos I was watching, but I remember there was like some kind of shipwreck that had happened like a long time ago, and I guess some people, they know where like that area's at, and some people like find coins, like these gold coins sometimes, and I thought I was like, oh shit, that's pretty fucking cool.
I've seen also magnet fishing.
Oh yeah, magnet fishing.
Sometimes to me that looks more interesting than trying to fuck with the little fish right there in the river or the lake.
Yeah.
Because you can find guns, you can find all kinds of things that don't matter.
Yeah,
crazy shit.
I've seen videos of some dudes doing magnet fishing where they kind of like help like the police like they reopen like a case because they found like a weapon and like somebody's like purse and stuff like that, and so that's pretty interesting. Yeah, but yes. And how many times did you say you have gone scuba diving?
I think I've done a total of like 6 dives.
6 dives.
Yeah.
Nice.
That's super
nice.
cool.
And that's the terminology too. He's like, I just done about 6 dives. You know what I mean? That's cool, man.
Yeah, it's fun. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, the only problem is, like he said, it is expensive.
Yeah, because getting certified costs a lot, and then you have to buy some gear, and that costs a lot.
Are you try skydiving or anything like that? Any
No,
sports, guys? Were you a skateboarding kind of guy?
I wasn't a skateboarder. My dad and I used to race dirt bikes growing up.
There you see.
Yeah.
I knew there was gotta be something. Okay,
Yeah, I used to race dirt bikes growing up.
it's part of being in California.
So you were like in the race, like in actual like races, like competitions and stuff.
Yeah. My dad was a semi-pro in California.
cool.
What was he? What did he was a motorcycle.
Yeah, dirt
motorcyclist,
bikes.
Dirt bike.
Yeah,
My uncle was I forgot, I don't know what class, but it's off road. It's like it's one of the cars. It's not the buggies, but it's not the truck. I forgot what class it is, but it's more of like a stand. Like it looks more like kind of like a. It's like the shape of a car, but it's obviously like
like
an
a derby car.
I want to say maybe, yeah. And he was like in the Baja, you know, that event called the Baja 1000.
Yeah.
I went there one year. I was a teenager.
That looks like a lot of fun.
Yeah, and
Very dangerous.
I think he either won it or he did really good.
That's on the dunes, right? Yeah.
Yeah, and he did really good, because I remember there's even pictures that he has of like some kid was asking for an autograph too. So it's like a moment where he's like autographing the picture. People are taking pictures and everyone's like cheering him on and stuff. So, but yeah, and so you said you did you participated in
Yeah, I used to ride dirt bikes.
Did you win? Ever win?
I mean, I kind of just did it as a kid. My racing, like going to official races, stopped when my dad stopped, because like
He had an accident. He got hurt?
yeah, he rode street bikes too, and he got in a bad accident, broke all his fingers, broke his knee, broke his shoulder. And then his first race back, he went over the handlebars and broke all his fingers again. And so once he was done, you know, I was done racing. I still rode for a long time up until I was like 14, and then I started getting serious about football. But
So you probably had one of those mini bikes. You didn't have the full size, did you?
I mean, until I grew up, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I started out on a
started
little
with a little
50.
one. Okay.
Yeah, a Honda 50. And when I started, I had training wheels, and so I had to race with the kids on quads.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's very cute.
Yeah, it was fun.
Yep. Nice. Hell yeah. Nice, man. That's pretty cool, man. And you know what I like about the show pretty much is that like we're having, because we see you pretty often like the open mics and stuff, but it's pretty cool how like we're just like on, you know,
We discovering things.
we're just learning about people, which is cool.
What it is, it's an open mic, so the shows, we're like, hi, hello, we're so happy to see each other, you know, with each other, whatever. But you concentrated in your material and what you're gonna do.
Yeah, we're all there
or
working.
you watching the other comedians. There's nothing but comedy, but time goes by and we don't really know much about each other, or we don't know each other on a personal level. We actually never had the time to get to know each other. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I got to learn that, unfortunately, the hard way with Gerald Harper, which is a very good comedian. and he's no longer with us, and I feel sorry that I never really had the time
Right.
to know him on a personal level. And I knew he was a super cool dude, and he loved my comedy. I love his style. He loved my style, but for whatever reason, one thing or another one, we never had the time to really get to know each other.
Right.
So this kind of thing, I'm really liking a lot.
But yeah,
You learn quite a bit.
yeah. I hope like cause like I said, I just moved here like a year ago, and I get involved with the comedy scene. And what I think is different from my experience because I started in California, I did like probably like I don't know 4 months of straight up open mics, and like I had a couple homies that were cool, but there was like it was very cliquey, you know what I mean? There's like everybody had their own little groups and stuff. But that makes sense though, because LA is so overpopulated with people. But here, we're all just like one
We're
group.
such a small group.
Yeah, everyone just a small. Well, it's one of the biggest cities in Texas. I
Yeah.
read today that Lubbock is, it's the 10th biggest city or something like that. I don't know if that's correct.
No.
Anyways, but it's pretty cool how there's really no like. I don't know. It's yeah.
I mean, you walk into any of the open mics, and yeah, there might be groups of like 4 or 5 all sitting separate, but like it's always a different group of 4 or 5. You know, it's not like it's the same people just sitting talking to each
We
other.
don't have a huge table of 30 people.
No, yeah.
It just doesn't exist.
Yeah. Hopefully, what I was getting to is hopefully like for next year, like hopefully like we could book and like probably at one point have our own throw like an event or something, or do this like live in front of a crowd, or have it like a live show with comedy and fucking party after or something. I don't know.
Be sick.
Yeah, and you know what's funny? I was never that type of person to be like, okay, new year, like new projects, new me, do this and that. But like, I feel like I'm feeling that vibe now, where I'm kind of like, okay,
Yeah.
time to like change some habits and fucking try to like, I don't know. I'm saying this right now. I might end up fucking off the whole year again.
The only reason I don't like doing that, like, oh, next year I'm going to start doing this, is because like I could have started it whenever.
Yeah,
You know, like
2025 has a good. 2025 has a
Just
good
like
ring
good
to it.
excuse, like, you know, this is a new year.
Yeah, it's the thing, it's an excuse.
Say something new.
that's the thing. It's an excuse.
Yeah.
You know,
Is that
like,
a real thing where like,
I kind of get it. Like if you're wanting to be like, oh, like
If there was
just to start it clean,
the right
but like
timing.
why?
Yeah.
Like, you know, like if you're ready to do it, then do it now. You know what I mean?
is that a real thing for gyms to be like overpacked like right at the beginning of the year all the time? I wouldn't know because I just don't do that.
because of the publicity, most likely it is.
Yeah, and they do deals usually start of the year.
Okay. Yeah.
I would say they get
You know,
little
people
busier.
get with the holidays and everything, everybody overeats and you get super.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Now the new year is here and it's like, oh, I gained 20 pounds. Now I gained
Also,
just 20 pounds.
I feel like it's a lot of people like because there's a lot of like spring is when weddings are. So it's a lot of people like, all right, now I got to get in shape for my wedding.
I gotta,
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
gotta be able to wear that suit.
Yeah.
Or the dress or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah. Damn, this is pretty cool, man. I didn't know all this about you. Interesting dude, man. That's pretty cool. But yeah, I'm just
Like an onion.
How many girlfriends have you had through your life?
How many what?
How many girlfriends have you had? Serious girlfriends have you had throughout your life?
All right, that's all we got for you
You
guys.
get in trouble now. How much time do we have?
Welcome to the very farther chat.
Couple series. I would say
couple
just
series.
a few series. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. My bad. I wasn't.
Yeah. I mean, I guess like I've never moved in with anyone before, and I'm living with Taylor. Yeah.
That's a big step right there. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. How about you? How many girlfriends have you had throughout your life? Serious.
How many girlfriends have I had throughout my life?
serious girlfriends?
I'm gonna be completely honest. Probably like 2, like serious girlfriends. But like, this is gonna, I don't know why you asked.
This is my most obviously
Yeah.
most serious.
I can see that.
And if I'm being completely honest, this is my my only serious relationship I've been in.
Yeah.
Wow. I'm surprised.
Yeah.
But that's good. That's cool. So how many? 2 you said, right?
Yeah, I haven't been in an actual. I've only been in one relationship, like as an adult. As after I was 18, I've only been in like one actual relationship. Other than that, it's just like I've had like hookups and one night stands and stuff like that. But I don't know. This is just,
So what's your body count?
I don't know.
Come on now.
I don't know my body count. I don't know my body count.
Joel's over here. What
I'm not saying like it's I'm not saying I lost count. I just don't know.
You'd have that
Probably,
dude with the
probably
lie
like
detector
I
test.
would say probably like around 10, maybe, maybe less. I don't know. Ballpark. You?
I lost count.
You lost count.
I lost count a long time ago. That was probably my first year or two.
Yeah.
10.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I'm
And I was 14.
yeah.
But then again, it was a different world.
Wait, what happened?
A different culture, a different country.
Yeah.
So you guys now are more like, no, don't be macho. Be gay. Come
Yeah.
on.
Wait, what,
Fucking dick is
what
good.
did I miss? What?
It's different
my
generation.
bad. Yeah,
Before we
Oh, yeah, yeah.
good
We're
thing.
sucking dick now,
being
man.
macho is a bad thing. It's just they don't like it anymore.
Yeah.
It's
But I'm trying to get out there, man. I'm putting myself out there.
more to be gay and trans and all. That's good.
Are you
Be
gay?
Trans.
No. I'm-
Got your dick off. That's good. There you go. That's what they do nowadays.
what do they
Back in
do?
the days,
Oh, yeah, yeah.
difference you got, the more girls, more body count, you were more of a man.
Mm-hmm.
Nowadays, it's the opposite.
I might try trans.
What do you mean? What do you mean? Like trans?
Okay,
What?
okay.
You might try.
You talking about cutting off our dicks? Okay, I might try it.
You might try.
Now
You
give
might
it a
try
whirl.
transitioning, or might try being.
I don't know.
Okay.
Well, you're pretty enough.
I'm already working on it.
Hey, Daniel, what did you say earlier? I pretended like I understood. You could talk. I don't care, man. How much? What do we got? We're at 50 minutes. We're going to what? Okay. All right. Got you. Thank you, sir. I don't care if we break. What is that called? Breaking the third wall,
Fourth wall?
fourth wall. I don't care. It's all good. Anyways, yeah, man. Good stuff. What do you got? Any shows coming up?
I don't think I have anything right now.
No.
Nothing.
It kind of slowed down quite a bit lately for the last 2 months of the year. I guess everybody's doing the family thing and the holidays and all that
Yeah.
kind of stuff.
I've had at least 2 shows a month. Probably since August
Okay.
or September, and then before that was when I had the run of
How many times have you hosted a mic? Have you hosted a show before?
hosted 2 mics, and I've never hosted
You never
a
hosted a
show.
show. How did it go hosting the open mic? How did that? How,
Thanks for fun.
yeah.
Yeah,
Is that cool?
It's.
You did a pretty good job.
Yeah.
What I remember.
I would say the only thing the only downside for it was I tried to like do jokes that I wrote on the spot, and like sometimes it just didn't hit.
Okay. Yeah. That's how it is.
But I would say like my ability to host and say who's up next, I fucking stand up job.
Yeah, I wanna try to find a place to do a new open mic here in Lubbock. Like, I want to do the off Tuesdays that Cafe J doesn't have theirs.
Yeah,
But
I'd be sick, or even
wanna-
another day
I
of
wanna,
the
like-
week, like a weekend would be sick.
yeah, so I need to like go out
There
there
aren't
and like
many places I would do a weekend. No, I don't think.
That is.
yeah, I need to hit up like bars or breweries and stuff like that to try to see if they'll try to get to know them and see if they're cool with it.
So what else we don't know about you, or people usually don't know about you? What is all the stuff that most people don't know about you? At least we're trying to get to know you a lot more for our audience to get to know you. What is one of those things that usually people don't know this about me?
Ooh.
Or how we touch pretty much everything, or where we at?
I wanted to be a voice actor for the longest time.
Okay.
Voice acting is something I really
That's pretty cool.
wanted to do.
Do you different voices or just your?
I do
one
different
voice?
like
I did
like
know
I
this.
started
Wow.
practicing by just doing different impressions.
Okay.
Like I could do a
Can
really.
you give us a little taste and stuff?
So my favorite I
Whatever
do
is
is
easier for you.
Yeah.
I don't want to put
my
you to-
favorite I do is Patrick Star from
Patrick Star.
SpongeBob.
I can see that.
Hold on.
Who else?
I,
Are you gonna do it? You're gonna try it?
I got-
Okay.
Do it easy. You cannot just name names.
I gotta get into it.
because it's not easy. I understand that. Whenever you're ready, bro. No pressure.
Ask me if this is the Krusty Krab.
Okay. Is this the Country Crab?
No, this is Patrick.
That's pretty good.
Okay.
What else do you do? What's like? Do you have a favorite impression of
I
someone?
just found out I could do the little urchin from Surf's Up. Did you ever see the movie Surf's Up with the penguins? That's Surf.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there's a little urchin that he falls on. He like steps on it and it breaks his spine off.
What does that guy
And
sound like?
They're interviewing the urchin. He goes, "Stepped on me, stepped on me. He danced on me. Look at broken, gone, broken."
I remember that one.
Nice.
I could do. Shit, I don't know. I could do a few. I have a whole list on my phone of different voices I can do.
Nice.
And you try to look into that business to see how that works?
I don't even know where I would start with it.
Oh, okay.
So that's the only thing that's really kept me from even trying it. Yeah. I don't even know where I would start.
Got it.
I've done like some stuff for my buddy who he's done like animated films, and I've done voice work in there, and he's won awards from it.
What's his name? One of the comedians who was here in Lubbock, he moved on. I can't remember his name. He was very skinny, white dude. Oh my god!
A lot of us.
I'm gonna remember that later.
And big
I'm
white
gonna know his name because he used to do that, and he used to do the conventions or whatever. Because I guess people will know who does the voices or whatnot. Yeah.
Okay.
I know that if I go to Facebook and my friends, I'll find him and I'll let you know. He might be able to help you out and give you like a heads up or whatever.
Voice acting and any kind of acting, mainly voice acting. Would be
Nice.
I do.
Cool.
Think it'd be
Well,
fun.
we're trying to turn this because I keep telling people like I don't want to call this a podcast. So we're gonna try. I want to like we could. If we keep doing this, we could like it could evolve. We could turn it into something that we can make like skits or whatever and stuff like that. Like eventually in the future, do something cool and fun, different, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Anything you want to throw out there? Any
Like
plug?
joke of the week.
Plug.
Do you have anything?
Joke of the week. Oh my gosh.
It doesn't have to be yours. It could be something you heard. You know what I mean? I don't want you to burn your own
I'm
material.
gonna tell this tonight. I don't really have anything, to be honest.
Nothing to.
Well, we'll see it. We'll see it tonight. We'll see it.
So I started. I'm not gonna tell the one I'm telling tonight because I want Rafa to hear it. I started watching Game of Thrones, and first season, can't remember the actor's name. Little guy. His name's Tyrion Lannister in the show, and he's with this girl, and he's asking her questions, and he's trying to ask her questions, and she's like, "I'm not gonna tell you about myself," and because she's a prostitute, she's like, "I'm keeping my business private,"
Okay.
and he's like, "I promise, I won't ask anything too invasive," and she's like, "All right," and he goes, "Is your mother a whore?" First question. It's just this whole like you went through this whole like trying to break her down and get her to open up, and just immediately, is your mom a whore?
Nice. Was she?
I don't remember. I was
Oh, man.
busy
I
crying
hope so.
and laughing.
Well, I think we're coming up on an hour. Just, anything you want to got? Anything you want to say? Do
Anything you want to plug?
you want to get canceled? Or
Nothing I
something?
wanna
Say,
plug, I guess.
You want to say a slur or something? You want?
Want to? Yeah. Will I? In my car. Nothing I want to plug. We were talking about like, I don't want to say like I was actually shitting on it, like, about people starting stuff in the new year, like waiting to start it. But I will say I've already been putting into motion the ideas, but I've got something I'm kind of working on. I don't know exactly what I want to do with it yet, but I'm gonna let you all know what it's about and see if you guys are interested in being a part of it.
Okay.
Kind of a thing with the comedians.
Okay.
Let us
I think it'd be fun. Yeah, I'll tell you guys what it is after we're done.
Nice.
No problem.
Good stuff. Hell yeah. All right. We'll have you back for sure. We'll catch up with you in the future for sure. All right. Good stuff.
Hell yeah.
Thank you for coming to the show.
Thank you for
bro.
having me.
Not a problem. That's it.
Yeah. We're good.
Good night.
Yeah. Yes.
Taco, taco, sandwich!